I am on a boat. We woke up really early this morning, 6:45, got ready, and came over to the port. It's funny because every now and then, and look, it's a farm of some sort. I don't know if the camera will catch it. Hang on. It's right there. But we came out to the port and trying not to be too loud because we are inside of a cabin. There's obviously people around. But today was the first time or one of a few times, I should say, where the nav just failed. It brought us to the complete wrong area at a time where we needed to be somewhere on time, and it was very annoying. So just as a side note, this was not just the car nav, it was also Google Maps. And so we put in a totally different address in the end to get us to where we needed to be. But we got here on time. We were able to get to our parking area, which was really cool. So I don't think I've seen another video on this, and maybe I'll make just this whole separate video for how to do this, and that's getting on a ferry. So once you pull up to the zone, there's to the port, there's actually minders or security guys, maybe porters, and they tell you where to go. And so I was told to drive down a certain lane. This lane was painted red, and they said go down that lane and then pull into lane 1. And there was, I think, 6 lanes. And so we drove over and pulled into lane 1, and then we got out and went to go pay for our tickets. And even though I had a reservation, I still had to go up to the ticket counter and do everything like I had no reservation. And that was a bit interesting, but the lady there was very nice, took care of us, saw that we had a rental car. The only thing she noted was she wanted the plate off the rental car, which it's on the key. It tells them what car it is and the license plate. So she got that information, and then she proceeded to ask how many passengers, and there was 2. And so each car ticket comes with a free passenger. So we needed to pay for 1 extra passenger. And so I went ahead and paid for the extra passenger as well. Total came out to $10,870. So it was actually not too bad. That's for the round trip ticket. I still have the other ticket inside of the car. I actually put both tickets in the car at the beginning, and then when we were finished paying, she told us to go wait in our car, which we did. And after we got into the car and waited, which we waited probably about 5-10 minutes. It wasn't all that long. We were supposed to be at the port by 7:30. I wanted to get there early so that we'd have extra time, which is why we woke up extra early. With all that Google Maps fiasco, we actually arrived right on time, about 7:29, and we paid at 7:31 was our tickets, and then we drove on to the boat. I actually didn't catch the time on what time we drove onto the boat, but we left right at 8:02. I know that for a fact because I was standing on the deck filming us drive away or sail away. But from our lane 1, we were the first lane to get loaded onto the boat. And so we came onto the boat, and they direct you where to put your car. And what's funny is on the boat, there's a lane 1, 2, and 3. And because I didn't park in a lane, I actually am parked between lane 1 and 2. I'm the third car on, so it was, I'm at the very tippy front of the boat.
Pyramid stuck in front.
Yeah. So I don't know if that came through, but Lynn was saying that they pyramid stack the front, so it looks like a triangle. So it's 1 car, then 2 cars, then 3 cars. I'm one of the 2 cars. it was a experience because the guy was trying to direct me where to go, and so at first I thought I just needed to be in lane 1 before he was like, you got to pull over, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Got into the right spot, and kind of one of the lucky things I would say about this random, like I just randomly chose 802 as the boat, is that it is a Pokemon boat. This is a Yadon boat, and Yadon is all over the boat. Slowpoke, I believe, is his English name, is what Lynn was telling me. It's pretty crazy. Like, they do have, every now and then he's surrounded by an olive branch. It's because this boat goes between Takamatsu, the city in Kagawa, and Shodoshima, which is known as the Olive Island here in Japan. So, we are on our way to Shodoshima. I think we're getting off at Tonodo, or Tonoshodo, something like that is the name of our port that we're going to. I'll put the correct name on the screen, but the ride is about an hour. We're about a half an hour in, so I do expect to hear the announcement for us to load back onto the cars maybe in like about 15 minutes here. That way we can get ready to drive off when we need to. But we actually walked the entire boat already. It's really cute. It's really busy, really packed. So I didn't film a lot of the boat. I got the very tippy front of the boat where you could see us actually driving through. They have like some first class looking seats up front. And then I got a little bit of the cabin that we're sitting in, which is pretty nice. Right behind me right there, that's the front of the boat. And right there is a female only portion of the boat, which is kind of nice. There's just a very gentle sway of the boat, so it's very stable. I could see if the ocean got rough, this would be a little bit of a tougher ride. But yeah, the water is really calm, and there's just a gentle sway as we go. And so, walking the boat, I kind of just filmed a lot of the Pokemon areas of the boat. There's an announcement going off right now. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to go to the car pretty soon. They're saying don't forget anything. Alright, well, as I said before, we were walking around and filming all of the Pokemon all over the place. It was really cool. Yep, so she's calling us to go to the car. I'll have to finish this story when we hit land. Anyhow, it's been fun. I will check back in a moment. Alright, so we are at Angel Island. It's actually right here behind me, or in front of me rather. But to finish off what I was saying on the boat, the Yadon character from Pokemon's all over the boat, and even on the udon, which is recommended. So we went and got a bowl of udon each. Lynn got me the special Yadon version. She got herself the regular. They're actually the exact same thing, except my version had a photo of Yadon on the tofu that was on top. It was actually a very simplistic udon, very light. The broth was very, very refreshing in that sense. It was nice not to have something too heavy as a breakfast. I don't know if I would have liked it as much as a lunch or a dinner though. Just a side note there. It's not to say it was bad. It was delicious. It was good. But yeah, everything was good on the boat. After that, we came off the boat and came over to Angel Road, where we have a couple of photo spots, and we took a ton of footage, a ton of photos. The area is pretty cool, right, Lynn? Yeah. It's a road that appears when the tide is out, and when the tide comes in, the road disappears. But overall, it's a pretty amazing place. There is a bell at the top in which you could take a really good photo at the top of this mountain behind me. There is a bell which you're supposed to go up with your partner and ring the bell for true love. And then there's actually a great spot up there to take a photo of the actual road, so you can actually see the road as it comes out of the water. Yeah, we're pretty much done here. I took the drone up. We spent a little bit more time than I actually wanted to here. I just couldn't find a good drone shot that I liked. So we really have to be hopping. Luckily, we're here an hour early, so even though we have maybe about a half an hour's time lost right now, we'll make up for it. Anyhow, we'll check back in a moment. Back in a sec. Welcome back. We are at the Olive Park. After leaving Angel Road, we went to the Furusato Olive Garden, I believe that's what it's called, which was a Michinoeki where we got some soba, and it was the olive soba that this area is so famous for. Both Lynn and I were actually thoroughly impressed with it.
There's a wild boar here.
Huh?
There's a wild boar here.
Yeah, beware of wild boar. We just saw a sign that said beware of wild boar, and I was kind of wondering how they got to this island. It's like a tiny island, so to run into one you had to be extremely lucky or extremely unlucky. But anyhow, oh, I actually have footage of us eating. It's kind of a rarity, but I'll go ahead and cut to that right now.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, cool. So first we're gonna mix that into there, then dip these into there to eat it. So, looking forward to it. Alright.
It's like soba. I get it.
And so, Lynn was actually quite impressed with the olive soba. And I told her the next thing we were going to do was come to the Olive Park. There's another rest area, but like more of a garden. Whew, walking uphill. Anyhow, so we came up here to go ahead and get the famous olive ice cream, which was amazing. I got the ice cream topped with olive oil, and Lynn got just the regular ice cream in a cone. There really was no difference. They were good, but there really was no difference between each item. And mine costs like, I think 150 yen more, but I don't think it's actually required to do what I did. Anyhow, there's a little museum back here that we're gonna go check out before heading off to our next spot. Everything here has been amazing though. So this is like one of those places where they have the windmill that people like to go take the Kiki's delivery service photo at. There's also a large sundial right at the base of this hill. I'm kind of wondering if these olive trees are all from Greece, as there's a very much so a Greek vibe and theme here. Finally, back at the station. You have to walk down to the windmill, and so you have to walk back up, obviously, to get back to the station. And the reason you walk back up is, as you could see, Lynn's walking with a broom that we can go take a photo with. It's a thing you just grab here and walk down over and take a photo with, and it's free. So, pretty cool little bonus. Probably be nice if we returned it though. So, that's what we're going to do. We'll go check out the museum and then head on out. Oh, I'm so tired, I think I'm repeating myself. Anyhow, we'll check back in a moment once we actually get to our next spot, or if something else interesting here pops up. Back in a moment. Hey, Charlie from the future. I'm just cutting in. I don't actually know if I mentioned that we went to go see the Olive Regent, and I do have footage of it, so I'd like to put it in here. But before going to Marukin soy sauce factory, we actually drove up this crazy road, which was super narrow, super thin, over these crazy bridges that I don't think cars really should be going over, and parked in this crazy little area to go see this olive with a... What's the hairstyle called then?
Huh?
What's the hairstyle that that olive had?
Pompe.
Pompadour. Yeah, and the olive had a pompadour. Like, it was crazy. And what was even crazier is that there were other models of that olive as well. This is actually a throwback to a show that I saw a very long time ago and it was one of the AKB48 variety shows when they're kind of still in their peak, and they're traveling all around. They came to Shodoshima just to see this, and they actually wore like pompadour wigs. I'll have to see if I could find some footage of it and overlay it, but it is a little out of the way, admittedly. Although, it is perfectly situated between the Olive Park and the Marukin soy sauce factory. So if you're driving between the two, you could really easily just stop by. I guess it's not really easily. It's a crazy drive into the thing, but it's not time consuming. It was like 5 minutes out of the way. But you just have to be super careful because everything's super narrow. Lynn was mentioning how it's like, it feels like we could reach out and like grab things out of people's windows. That's how close we were. And I was kind of like, I make it like similar to being in a drive-through. It felt like I was the opposite. I was like a DoorDash where I would come to your window, knock on your window, and you'd open your window and I'd pass you the item that you ordered, because that's how close we would be. But I think I didn't mention that anywhere, and I just wanted to make sure that it did get mentioned that we did see at least one art piece here on Shodoshima, as these islands are known to have many, many different art pieces. But yeah, alright, and then it's just on the next spot. And hello, cutting in again, because I realized I have no A-roll for the Marukin Soy Sauce Museum that we went to. This place was fantastic. So Shodoshima is not only known for making olive oil, they're also known for making soy sauce. And just one side note, it is 400 yen-ish to get into the museum, but when you buy the ticket, they give you a bottle of soy sauce, which I think that's just awesome. Like, you pretty much made your money back. But I will say that it's kind of weird because it's literally when you buy the ticket to get in. So you have to hold this bottle of soy sauce as you're walking around a soy sauce factory, which luckily we just had a backpack, so we just threw it in there. But I digress. As you walk through, like, the very first thing is just history and kind of like a diorama of the museum. And the museum has grown over the ages. I don't remember the years, and all the signs are in Japanese only, if I recall correctly. And they have like this cool, as you go through, it immediately kind of goes into a big wooden container that you could walk through. And that's like what they would store the soy sauce in. And after you go through that wooden container, it literally takes you into the factory. And when I say that the factory has grown and grown, it's because the factory is not just the original old style factory, like traditional and everything. There is actually another soy sauce museum that's pretty nearby that you can go to that is just the traditional type of manufacturing of soy sauce, and it is it's also worth going to see. We just didn't have enough time. I chose this one because there was going to be a lot more to see, and this one has like an entire new area, so like all stainless steel items, food grade items, so to say, to manufacture all their soy sauce. Now, as you go through, you get to see all the classic things or tools that they used to make the soy sauce, and it's pretty cool because you could see how they kind of used a lot of levers and pulleys in order to really like squeeze the soy sauce out of everything. You get to see how they measured everything, all the different like heating places, how they cooked the soy sauce. And as you go through, it really is like an impressive place, and you get to see all the old school ways of making soy sauce. Now, this is put in a museum setting, which is what makes this place a little bit different than the other soy sauce museum that I was talking about. I don't know if the other place is a museum. It's more of just a factory that does tours. This is the museum part where you get to see all the ancient methods of how they made the
the soy sauce. And actually, at one point in the factory, they have this cool wall that actually has like a nowadays method and a ancient method, and it goes across and it shows how they line up and how they differ from how they create soy sauce, which that was really neat. But just walking around and seeing all the different tools, all the different like machineries that they had to use, or machines that they had to use, that was really cool. And it was really great up, and I mean, not even up until, it just was great all the way through. There was obviously a point where you could taste all the different soy sauces, and strangely enough, I believe I have a tasting of it. So let's go ahead and just cut into that real quick. So yeah, let's go ahead and change to that angle, and that is kind of some of the A-roll that I have, but here we go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is.
Just show it to me. Okay.
Just a little bit. It has umami in it. Like it tastes like there's meat.
Huh.
Like it is just soy sauce. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but it tastes like there's something else with it. The second one is this one.
You're kind of covering up your finger.
Oh, sorry.
Turtle.
Yeah, the first one was like sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely like the first thing my brain thinks is it's sweet. Oh, that one's not as sweet. Not as sweet. Way saltier than the first. The first one so far has been the best so far. That's been like, first one's like ideal. Third one.
Deluxe. I don't know what that last two is.
Oh, that's like sweet, but like it's not salty. It's hard to describe. It tastes like a cooking one, you know.
Okay.
But it's like a sauce. It tastes like a different type of sauce. And then this one is
Show from the other side first. See it?
sure. Oh, it's like teriyaki sauce.
Oh, okay.
That's like sweet and salty. The third one and the first one are the best, for sure. And then it goes to the fifth. Second one, or sorry, it's 1, 2, 3, and 5. That's what
I
they
think
did.
they're missing one.
Yeah, there must be a missing one. But the first one and the third one, they're like equal to me. The fourth one, number 5, was pretty good. The first, third, and fourth you could easily just eat with rice and nothing else, and that would be a good meal. But that was a bit much.
Yeah,
The
so they're
second
missing.
one.
It's apparently the most popular one. Oh, it stopped.
Yeah.
Is there anything there?
Oh yeah.
You say that's the most popular
Number
one.
4. Oh, it's bright. Has like a slightly fishy aftertaste, but it's like when you first taste it, it's almost like it gives you the same sensation that you're tasting lemon juice.
Huh, weird.
It's weird. It doesn't taste like lemon juice. It gives your mouth that same feeling though. That's pretty crazy. That's really good though.
Check it out.
Yeah. Your turn, Carl.
And so, as you can see, there are a ton of different type of soy sauces, each with their own purpose for what they're made for. And I am actually standing in my kitchen right now, and there's a reason for it. It's because we did buy soy sauce to try, and we brought it all back home. And so I'm gonna have to go and look up what the reason for these are, but like some of them are for cooking, some of them are for like sushi, like specifically made for sushi. They all have different flavors. Some are sweet and some are very salty, as you saw in the video just now. But the walking around the souvenir area was really cool. And although they did, like I said before, give you their main like everyday use soy sauce, we did end up buying a few more bottles, obviously, so that we could test it out. Another thing that we bought was something that I think it's just been all over YouTube and all over like the travel channels inside of Japan, are that they have soy sauce ice cream. And again, I don't know, I guess on this day I was just feeling like we should do a lot of taste tests or whatnot, eatings. And so here's actually some footage of us tasting the soy sauce ice cream and actually topping the ice cream with more soy sauce, which was a little different. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into that.
I'll try it without first.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Let's try it. Oh, okay. I'm glad I didn't get my own. Tastes like cheese.
It does taste like cheese.
Tastes remarkably like cheese. Okay. Now it's- 1, 2, 3.
I don't think you're supposed to put it all in the same spot, but okay.
It tastes like the cheese from Cheese and Crackers.
That's funny.
That's super funny. It's like exactly like I'm expecting crackers right now. Alright, it's not bad actually.
Alright, that's good. Cool.
It's funny. Over it.
And as you could see there, Lynn wasn't all that fond of it, but it is what it is. Like, it's you know, it is just one of those things where it's different. That's for sure. It's not bad. It just wasn't that great either. Not something you'd have to go out of your way for. But overall, we just had such a good time walking around this plant and seeing all the ins and outs of it. The exit was kind of weird because, like, as you exit the main museum, you go actually into like this narrow alleyway that's between the new factory and the old factory, so the museum portion, and you can see the piping that goes back and forth from all the buildings. So, but overall, don't know where the A-roll for this Marukin soy sauce museum went. I did not want to lose any of this footage though, so just doing this quick cut in to make sure that we have footage of the factory as well as us tasting soy sauce and eating some ice cream. But anyhow, we'll be back in a second here with the next, well, the 24 Eyes I think it is, or the movie studio that we're going to. So back in a sec. So, welcome back. I'm here at the 24 Eyes studio. We are at the first park. I don't know if we're going to go to the second, but we do have to pass it on the way out, so we'll probably stop by real quick. Spent a good amount of time here at a theme park, walking around, checking out all the old school studio type stuff. Lynn was just buying souvenirs that I was waiting for her. But now we are on our way out. Just thought I'd mention that this park is pretty cool. Oh, interesting. So Lynn did this fish feeding thing. It's the very kind of last thing that she did while we were here. And you feed them frozen prawns. And they show you the fish that are in the water right here. And it's this guy that comes up and like eats the food right out of the spoon that Lynn was feeding. That was pretty nuts. But the first thing we kind of did was we went and got lunch. So it's probably like 2 something right now. What is it? Almost 3?
No, it's 3:30.
It's 3:30. Okay, so we did spend a good chunk of time here.
Yeah. We got here at 1:45.
Yeah, so it's anyhow, we got lunch. Lunch was amazing. It was like a school kids curry soup with sugar bread. Lynn ordered a beef croquette sandwich, and then we ordered an extra kinako bread. And what was the drink you got? Butterfly? A butterfly pea. So the soda changed colors when you added a lemon juice to it, which I thought was pretty cool. And she told us to mix thoroughly. Ironically, she told me to put the lemon in and then mix. There's a lemon on the glass if you notice. I thought that was the lemon she was referring to, and then asked her what was in the cup next to it, and she's like, that's the lemon juice I was talking about. Oh, okay, my bad. But, anyhow, the food was delicious. The fried bread is just a donut. It's straight, that's what it is. And if you don't like donuts, you won't like it, but if you like donuts, it's delicious. And then after that, we walked over to the school, and then we went through all the classrooms. 2 of the classrooms were actually used as what they would be in a school. So one was the principal's office, the other was an actual classroom. The middle room, though, was actually a kind of a exhibit dedicated to movies. And so that was kind of neat to see how many older movies there were here. While we were at the cafe, just to backstep real quick, there was a point where I noticed there was a new film that was filmed here on Shodoshima. I don't want to say new, but it was like new-ish. And it was filmed here on Shodoshima very clearly via the backgrounds. But they're very proud of it because they were advertising it all over that cafe. And so next to the cafe, there's actually an old museum for old classic TV and movies that were filmed here as well. Or not here as in Shodoshima, but in Japan as well. And kind of like the beginnings of movie making, which was kind of really cool. So going back to the classroom now, we did walk through all of them, took a few photos, and then made our way down through like a fishing village, which was pretty awesome. And after we made our way through the fishing village, we walked over by a statue of a teacher surrounded by children playing rock, paper, scissors. And that's actually like one of the movies that was filmed here, which is why they have that statue. Other than that, we came over here where Lynn could feed the fish and buy some souvenirs. And now we're off to the next spot. Anyways, we will check back in a moment here. Back in a second. Welcome back. We are in the maze town on Shodoshima. We just left the temple in the maze town, and that was pretty much the only thing I was gonna go see over here. I like the pagoda that's in there. We did go to a couple of the yokai museums just to see the outside. Everything's closed, and we are in a residential area, so I don't want to talk too loud. Like, people still live here, so overall, it's interesting. Originally I was gonna skip it, and now that I'm actually here, I think I agree that skipping it would have been okay. The temple's really cool. It's worth seeing. We're actually going to go to another temple right now, I believe. It's going to rain shortly. Oh, okay. Lynn's saying that there was a Yadon stamp over at the temple, but we didn't see it. But they're also pretty closed, Lynn. I think you surprised them because we probably weren't supposed to be in there. That's why they were waiting for us to leave. So I kind of feel poorly about that, but it's actually not all that late. It looks late, but it's because it's about to rain. But that being said, we've pretty much completed walking around. We did go to, like I said, those yokai museums. Oh, there's another one right ahead of us.
It's like a main one, Charles.
What?
It's the yokai bar museum. Like it's like a main one.
Yeah, there's a main one like right there. And there's one straight in front of us. Huh. There's a lot of things that are branded Marukin here. And I wonder if it's just more of the conglomerate thing, or if it's actually Marukin, or if it's just the fact that it's like an advertisement. Marukin is the soy sauce place that we went to earlier. We've definitely walked around quite a bit while over here. Oh, standing in front of a shoe store. I am interested in a new pair of shoes. That is tempting. But I think we're going to go try to see this underground temple, depending on how the light holds. I think we probably only have about a half an hour of light left, and maybe we should have just gone to that temple instead of coming here. But I think the temple's only about 10 minutes away, so we'll see what happens. It's either that or we go to the hotel. Tonight's going to be an easy night. We've been up since 6:45, so nothing too crazy there. I think once we see what happens at the temple, we'll probably figure out what we're gonna do. We also have to figure out dinner too, so we will definitely check back in a moment here. All right, back in a sec. All right, and welcome back. We are clearly in the hotel room now. We already went to dinner, but right after we left the maze town, we came to the hotel to check in and kind of check out the place. We actually found out that we're right next to the port, and at least, I mean, I knew we were close to the port. I didn't know we were literally across the street from the port. Technically, we could have stayed here 2 nights and then just got up early and then left that night or that morning for Takamatsu and then continued on our tour to Takamatsu, or even woke up early and then left for Okayama or Hiroshima and just go that way. That might have actually been a smarter plan thinking about it now, but hindsight is always 20/20. And the hotel is actually quite nice, I think. It's not like fantastic, but it's not bad either. And we are on the top floor. But why don't we go ahead and do a quick room tour. Okay, so we are on the top floor of this hotel. Floor 9. I don't know if you can see the guide right there. Maybe I can just take a couple steps. Floor 9. The view is actually not bad. Oh, I guess you can't see what we could see from the room from here, so we'll get around to that. We are in the corner room at 912. Walking in, the room's a pretty decent size. We immediately have the toilet, which is separate from the bath. This is actually a really good sized bathroom. We have the shower area and bath area, and then we have the sink, which has its own faucet. Then we have the nice toilet, a towel dryer or towel rack. We have a closet. This first one. Try not to destroy our clothes or our shoes too much. But this one is just empty. Put our shoes back. This one, I'm expecting, yep, okay, so here are the hangers. And then we have yukata, if we want them. There are our towels. And then, oh cool, they do have slippers. Oh, these are nicer looking slippers. Disposable slippers. We actually have good slippers right there. So, looking at the rest of the room, we have a place for Lynn to put her luggage right here. And then we have the TV with the desk. And plenty of drawers. Wow.
Yeah, we have so many drawers. So
That's crazy. Moving on to the other side, we have the 2 beds. Let's see. AC set to 24. That's fine. Let's just make sure it's on. Which one is it? I cannot tell. Timer. Huh. Oh, there. That's why I couldn't find it. We have, cool, a charging station, which I will put our phone chargers up here with the light switches right there. Super convenient. Our phone. This has been a thing. This is fabric spray, which is supposed to make the, like, your clothes or whatever smell better, I feel. I'm not 100% sure what it's there for. Maybe it's to spray down the beds, but I'm not 100% sure about that. We do have our free Wi-Fi, a kettle, a hairdryer, And then small mirror. And oh, this is interesting. The refrigerator with a on-off switch right on top. That's different.
That happened with the other place too. I turned ours on.
Oh, really? Was not aware of that. We do have some tea. Air purifier. That seems to be a thing right now. And then our little seating area, almost like this was like one of those onsen ryokans. And then this is what I was referring to just now, out in the hall, is we actually have somewhat of a view. Oh, look, a boat is going out. Yeah.
Nice.
So, there it goes. That is our port. So, tomorrow when we're leaving, we will be coming back to this area. And oh, we'll probably be loading onto that boat right there that's docked up. I believe that's the boat we came off of, or the port we came off of, because that is the immediate turn that I made right there earlier today. There is the port house. I don't know what to call it. It's like a Michi no Eki, a roadside station, but it's for the boat. You could also park there if you were going to just be taking the ferry to the mainland and then coming back to get back into your car and then drive home. So that is another availability. And then I believe over there is all not fast food, but convenience stores. Try to block out the light with my hand here. But yeah, pretty cool. I would say so far this has been okay. This is definitely the highest out of all of the rooms at the 9th floor. We are the top floor. We've never had a top floor in Japan before, I believe. And yeah, let's go ahead and get back to my talking head shot, and we'll finish off the night. So you can see the room's a pretty good size. The view is nice from the top floor. You know, we could still see the cruises or the ferries coming in and out as they come to port. It's kind of nice. They don't make any noise, so it's actually super quiet. And one thing I didn't mention is the carpet. There's been a lot of carpet in all the hotels that we've stayed at this time around in Japan. And I just don't remember that much carpet. Maybe I'm just remembering wrong. But the carpet in the room's kind of dirty looking. So that would probably be one of the things to take away from that. I'm sure it's clean, like they vacuum it, but there are stains on it and things such as that, or like scratch marks and stuff like that. After checking in and bringing our stuff up to the top, we decided that we were going to try to figure out what we wanted to do for dinner. And it was too late to go to the temple. The sun had already gone down. What we ended up doing was finding a Chinese joint, because Lynn was really wanting the sweet and sour pork that she saw the other night at the restaurant. And because she didn't go with it that night, she was wondering if she could get it tonight. So I hopped onto the Japanese food app or food site, Tabelog. It's kind of a love-hate for that webpage. Japanese websites are definitely getting better, but the one button that I wanted that I just could not find anywhere on the site was open now. I could get reservations now, but I couldn't just find out what restaurants were currently open. And it ended up me clicking into a lot of restaurants that were actually closed. They closed at 3 o'clock. And that's pretty normal for this island. And that's one of the things that I was concerned about. But we found a Chinese restaurant that closed at 9. So we then drove over. And it just so happens to be next to this huge Marunaka, which is like a supermart. It also had an amusement park attached to it, as well as a bookstore and a stationery store. Almost kind of reminded me of a super Walmart, but not to that extent. Still a little bit more modest, I guess you could say. The main point was to go to the Chinese restaurant, so we walked over and got our Chinese food. Lynn got her sweet and sour pork, and I was able to get some chili shrimp, which Lynn was surprised at because she knows I'm not a big fan of shrimp. But it was actually something that I was like, oh, I actually like this in Korea. Let me try it in Japan. And it wasn't bad. Lynn thought it was good too. The meals came with rice and a soup as well for the set. And then after finishing our meals, we went over to Marunaka to do some shopping.
before going over to the game center to play some video games. We actually played claw machine games, and we won some prizes. We did alright. But that's pretty much where we're going to finish off the night here. So we're in the hotel rooms. It's almost 10 o'clock. And I think we're going to go to sleep soon here, get up early in the morning and get breakfast. It's included with the hotel. And then start our last day at Shodoshima, where our boat out of here is at 5:30, I believe. I'll double check the reservations before going to sleep, but I do believe that is when we are out. Anyhow, that's it for today on Shodoshima. Alright, good night.